Hello everyone, welcome back to my FPL channel. My name is FPL Roxas, and today I will be sharing my GW5 Team Selection. The international break is finally over, and FPL is finally back. As usual, feel free to like and subscribe if you found my video enjoyable. Alright, let's start the team selection video. A quick recap on Game Week 4, I ended up on 71 points, just 5 points from safety, and because of that, I moved down to 2.8 million in the overall ranks. According to Live FPL though, I'm just 19 points away from 1 million and 27 points away from 500k. Still quite close. I hope that I can catch up fast, and I think I'll be making some more aggressive moves in the coming weeks. So be sure to watch my videos to be updated on my chase. Anyways, the point scorers for my team were Saka, Rashford, Mbumo, and Haaland. The majority of it coming from Haaland, the robot of course, who scored a hat-trick alongside an assist totaling 20 points after bonus calculations, and alongside captaincy 40 points in total. But pretty much everyone has him, and they all have him as captain as well. So the rank game won't be that high, even when he scores huge hauls like this, but points are points. I brought in Mbumo and was rewarded with a last-minute goal for him. I had to bring him on for Eze, as when I owned Eze, he was extremely unlucky. He could not score goals, but he was always the one who took the most shots in every game. He did finally score a goal though when I did transfer him out. So my net gain from the transfer is at 0. But in the long term, I do think Mbumo will rack up more points. For the Arsenal United game, it ended with Arsenal winning 3-1. Rashford scored an amazing solo goal, and Saka had an assist for one of their goals. I was also surprised by Forest keeping a clean sheet against Chelsea away from home that made Turner rack up 5 points. I think it was reasonable to bench him against Chelsea away last week, but like these unlikely scores do tend to occur. But it could also be a sign for Forest being a more than average team defensive wise. Well, Game Week 4 was pretty much ruined by Spurs alone. Like their assets, the people who own like Son, Maddison. Like Son even got a hat trick last week playing as a striker. They really are clicking under Postecoglou, and playing Son as a striker really unlocked this Spurs team's goal scoring potential. So moving over to my team selection for Game Week 5, players do commonly come back injured right after they've served their international games. Luckily, there were no news of injury from any of the players that I own, so that's less of a headache. Anyways, starting in goal, I chose Turner over Onana. Burnley at home would be a good week to play Turner, and also right after their 1-0 win over Chelsea last week, which is quite a shock. However, there were some reports that the new Forest goalkeeper that they bought might be the new starting goalkeeper, but there's no worries. I'm completely fine with Onana coming from the bench. United is great when they play at home, so we might be able to get a clean sheet or maybe a win even against Brighton. The rest of the team is still the same. Like for defense, Chilwell, Kanji, Estupinan. Chilwell has Bournemouth away, a great fixture to attack from. Akanji has West Ham away. Ever since I brought in Akanji, he was out of the squad due to illness, and then they lost their clean sheet in the next week. I hope that this is finally the time I get rewarded with a clean sheet from him. Estupinan has been quiet for the past 2 game weeks. He averaged an expected goal conceded of 2.04 per 90. That just shows how Brighton is just leaking goals even when they play well, like even under possession and everything. A game away against United sounds difficult, but it is Brighton. They are great against pretty much anyone in the league, so hopefully we can get a return from Estupinan. For midfield, we got Saka, Bruno, Rashford, Mbumo, and Diaz, same as well. I have to admit, this midfield looks pretty good on paper. They all have decent fixtures, like Saka with Everton away. Bruno and Rashford has a home fixture against Brighton, and Diaz has an away fixture against Wolves. Mbumo against Newcastle away might look tough, but Brentford are known to be able to fight tougher opponents quite well, like the 2-2 draw against Spurs in Game Week 1, for example. Diaz is the one I might be considering to move away from. He was great early on, but he was quite underwhelming like last week during their win against Villa. It was 3-0, but he only averaged an expected goal of 0.03, expected assist of 0.06 that game, and then he was subbed off during the 64th minute. He was also subbed off early the week before when Van Dijk got sent off. Could have been any winger, but it was him. Like, I knew the risks of having a player like him that can easily get rotated and like is a minute's risk in general. But I knew he had the explosiveness to score. But with Spurs players performing like Maddison and Son, I think out of all my midfielders, Diaz is the most likely to make way for the likes of those players that I want to bring in. He has a good fixture though against Wolves, so it's still fine to keep him at the moment. For my forwards, Haaland against West Ham, captain as usual. Watkins against Palace at home. This dude, I really need him to score, or he might be the other player that I'd be considering to transfer out. So, in terms of my transfer plans, I want to look at it a bit longer term. I made a fixture table consisting of teams associated with the players that I own and the fixtures they have from Game Week 5 to 12. Most noticeably, Game Week 8 looks like a tougher week, as almost everyone in my team are up against each other, or has difficult opponents. Brighton has Liverpool in Game Week 8 and City in Game Week 9. Arsenal has City in Game Week 8 and Chelsea in Game Week 9. City has Arsenal in Game Week 8, then Brighton and United right after. These are just some of the examples of the fixture swings that are coming to my team. The likes of Saka, Estupin, and Akanji, maybe even one of my United assets. They might have to be replaced when Game Week 8 comes. Looking at the short term though, like from Game Week 5 to 7, the fixtures look pretty good. Luton's got a double game week. That could do me good and get me some points. Luton are still a newly promoted team though. They lost all their games so far and only scored 2 goals in total. But double game weeks always offer some sort of excitement, so I think I might be looking to bring in maybe like Carlton Morris soon. So I'll be having Kabora and Carlton Morris for double game week. Yeah, everything looks fine for the shorter term. The problem is what's coming right after that. Like, I'm carefully considering a wild card for Game Week 8 because of that. This can be delayed though, according to what transfers I make from Game Week 5 to 7. Like, what I'm thinking is that if I were to wildcard in Game Week 8, I could do some aggressive transfers until like Game Week 7, and then wildcard right after when the fixture swings start. For this week, I am still contemplating on whether to make a transfer or save it for next week. However, if I were to make one, I have just one player in mind, which is James Maddison. He's gone up to 7.8 million, and he's going to go up again real soon. Madison's data looks decent per 90, with an expected goal involvement of 0.91, pretty much one goal involvement per game. If we were to ignore the data, he completely passes the eye test. The Spurs attack heavily revolves around him, and he's probably going to be scoring and assisting even more from this week onwards. Diaz's data has worsened, like, it got worse over the last 2 game weeks. He only averages 0.58 expected goal involvement per 90, so it's quite reasonable to consider moving away from him. Like, if I were to bring Madison in, it would look like a 1 week punt, but I could still play him through the tougher fixtures, of course. Like, his fixtures look amazing from Game Week 8 onwards. That's why if I were to not make a transfer, he will be in my wildcard team for sure. But for now, it looks okay with Sheffield as a really good fixture, then Arsenal and Liverpool, which is 2 difficult fixtures. When looking at this transfer, I also have to direct the attention towards Diaz. Can Madison outscore Diaz from Game Week 5 to 8? It's difficult to predict, as Madison does have tougher fixtures, but one big haul this week against Sheffield could be the difference. Diaz, on the other hand, has the potential to score against Wolves and West Ham, and maybe even Tottenham. Um, Another factor to think about is minutes. Diaz is a rotation risk, and if he starts, he usually gets subbed off during the 60th to 70th minute. Maddison played the full 90 for the first 2 games and was subbed off late for the other 2 games. So in the end, Maddison is safer when it comes to minutes. Looking at it realistically, like, if they were to score, Luis Diaz would probably get 1 to 2 goals in the next 3 games. Most likely, maybe. While Maddison can have like 1 to 2 goals and then assists as well. So Maddison looks way better after looking at all this. Lastly, Liverpool has the earliest kickoff this week, so there is a chance of team leaks prior to the deadline. If I do see that Diaz starts during the leaks, I don't think I'll be making the transfer to Maddison this week. But if he does get benched, I'm around 60 to 70% sure that I'll make the move. Because I'm leaning towards banking the transfer for next week. So like I'll have a lot more flexibility. Like so far I've been making a transfer almost every week. I think I'm looking forward to having 2 free transfers for once. And that wraps up this week's team selection video. Good luck to everyone for Game Week 5. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you want to be updated on my latest uploads. I'll be uploading every week, so stay tuned. Leave a comment if you'd like, and thanks for watching the video.